Good afternoon, it is Saturday the 21st of December, it is 2 PM and I'm just about to head off out, do a little bit of an Uber shift. It has just been raining for the past hour or so, it is really windy and it is cold, so I'm hoping that combined with people doing the last minute shopping, it's going to be a little bit busier during the day. I mean, if like the surge bubbles or anything to go off, you know, it is pretty much surging in quite a few places, but yeah, it's I felt a bit better coming out yesterday at about midday and basically getting home for about 1 rather than coming out at like, you know, 4-5 PM and then staying out until 4-5 AM. It was just easier, you know, getting up the next morning and things like that. I know I was able to get away with it a bit more because obviously more people were out Christmas shopping and whatnot. It wouldn't normally be that busy on a regular Friday. So yeah, let's see what happens today, and I'll keep you posted shortly. So a little update. As you can see, I'm sat in the back, relaxing, got the table out, just on charge. I don't know if you can see me from all the way over there, but it's the closest I could get it. So what time? I stopped at 7:30 to charge up. I got down to about 10 miles left on my tank. So I'd done 5.5 hours up until that point. I just haven't had a chance to do an update. It's been so busy. Pretty much same as yesterday really. It's been like quite consistent with sending jobs through, even though the jobs were, well, you know, a lot of the jobs were a little bit rubbish, you know, so I'll go through some of them now. So where was we? Just trying to see, where was we? I started at 4, I thought I started at 2. Saturday. Yeah, I did. I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. I'm clicking on the errands, but it's bringing me up. It's going back too far for some reason. There we go. Yep, sorry about that. Yep, so started at 2. I had a Banks, which is the outskirts of Southport, to Southport. £10.49 for 2.6 miles. But I did have to run probably a good 5 miles to that to get me going. I do live out in the middle of nowhere in the sticks, so it's kind of it's to be expected really. Yes, that was £10.49. Then I've done a little £6.53 for 2.7 miles. A £3.98 for 2.6 miles. £6.09 for 2.2 miles. A £3.81 for 1.7 miles. I then had, including a £5 tip, which I've just thanked them for, so I came to £9.59 for a 0.9 of a mile job. Didn't realise they give me a £5 tip. Normally, I think if you haven't already got a job booked and someone tips you, then it pops up on the screen saying, you're like, I don't know, congratulations, you've been tipped or something. But obviously, whilst you've got a job ongoing and passengers in, it doesn't come up and tell you, so I don't see this until I look back on it. Then I had a £4.10p for 1.5 miles. A £4.52 for 2.9 miles. An XL, £6.82 for 1.5 miles. I then had, including a £2 tip, £6.97 for 1.7 miles. A £3.73 for 0.9 of a mile. £7.68 for 4.1 miles. £7.20 for 3.1 miles. £8.25 for 0.4 of a mile. Another XL, £8.04 for 1.6 miles. £5.57 for 1 mile. £11.39 for 3.4 miles. Another XL, £6.65 for 1.2 miles. £8.81 for 3.4 miles. 5:58 for 1.8 miles, 7:38 for 2.7 miles, and then the last job just before they come offline, including a pound tip, was £4.75 for 0.6 of a mile. So currently on £147.93, so basically £150 for the 5.5 hours. Gives me almost £27 an hour of average, which is good considering it's been daytime hours. You know, the majority of the people are going on you know, staff nights out or Christmas parties. I've been taking them shopping. I've done quite a few trips taking people back from like Asda with like the Christmas shopping, food shopping and whatnot. What have I had? I've had quite a few people again tonight who still don't understand how automatic doors work. So like I picked one guy up, I had opened the near side door because that's on the pavement, and his missus climbs in that door, and for whatever reason he thought, I don't want to get in that door, I want to go around the other side. So he walks around the other side. So I was right, okay, so I'll press that button, that door starts opening. So it's half open by the time he gets to it. All he has to do is just like any other electric door that you come across, whether it's you walking into a shop, just wait for a second and it'll open. So he starts like wrestling with it, like pushing and pulling, like as though he's never seen an automatic door before. And then obviously the door freezes because it thinks like it's crushing someone to death. And then he like half climbs in and then sits down. And then he goes, "Is it automatic, that door?" And I was, "Well, it was, yeah." He was like, "Oh, is it going to shut itself?" I said, "No." I said, "Because you've manhandled it, you're going to have to manually shut it now." So he's trying to like shut the door. He's like, oh, I can't do it. I said, "Well, it's going to be awfully drafty for me driving down the road to come and drop you off." So he keeps pushing it, and then eventually he shuts it. I'm thinking, I'm not getting out and shutting the door because you're a clown. So as he's wrestling with that, I pressed the other button, which shut the door that his wife had got through. So basically me and his wife are both sat there looking at him thinking, why are you trying to manhandle an electric door? But then I think another customer done something similar after that. I pressed the button. I'll always stop just before the customer so I can press the button so it's opening as they're walking over to it, so they can say, oh look, it's doing it itself. And then she grabs the handle and pulls it, so when you pull the handle it cancels it and then starts shutting itself again. So then I have to press it and open it again. She's like, oh, is that automatic? I'm like, yeah, it was opening itself before you grabbed hold of it. It's just like the stupidity of some people. I can't get it. I just don't get it. I've seen a couple of other videos that I watch online, like of other Uber drivers and that. One of them said he'd seen a guy in a Vito who had put it's like masking tape over the handles on the outside to basically stop people from touching it. It's not something I fancy doing, like, but I wish there was something you could do, even just remove the handles. I'd rather people come over, stand there and think, how the hell am I supposed to open that? There's no handles, and just let me do it. Another one, I picked a guy up from the View Cinema and his wife. So he's climbing in, he went, "Whoa, bloody hell," he said, "your sat-nav's taking you right round the houses there, mate." I said, "Take me around the houses?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, it's brought me the most direct route, and on top of that I knew it was the most direct route because I know exactly where it was. And he was like, yeah, you've gone all the way over there, all you had to do is just drive over the bridge and we were here. It's like driving over like the promenade kind of thing in Southport. And I was like, you do realise that when you're tracking me on the app, you're tracking me dropping off the customer before I'm on my way to come and pick you up? And he was like, oh right, I didn't realise it. The app doesn't tell me that. So I think it is a bit daft really, the way like I've already got a customer in the car, dropping them off, I accept my next job, and then that customer can sit there and track you even though you're going to somebody's house. Isn't that kind of like data protection and whatnot? I had something similar last night, and there's messages popping up from the next customer, and he's saying, "Alright mate, I'm just wondering, are you still coming to pick me up?" I'm thinking, what's he talking about? So like 10 seconds later I stopped and dropped that customer off. So I messaged him back and said, yeah, why, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, you've just drove past us. And I was like, yeah, I've got another customer in the car. I said, I've just dropped them off, I'm on my way to you now. And he was like, oh right, okay, yeah, I didn't realise. So it seems to be like none of the customers realise that. What else? I don't know if I've taken some screenshots of some daft jobs. 5:20 I was offered a job, an XL job, Southport, going into Liverpool, L1. So it was, you know, in kind of, you know, like evening rush hour, everyone's heading out again. It's going to take about an hour. It wasn't the worst rate in the world, you know, it was £40, but I've been offered jobs for the exact same place from Southport to L1, and they've ranged from Uber anywhere between £20 and £50. So I've done £50 ones in the past, and then you're stuck in Liverpool. Or even if you drive straight back, you've then done 2 hours work for £25 an hour, but you've done all them miles. So like I said, even if I would have just drove there and back 2 hours, that would have been £20 an hour. But just staying round Southport, I'm on £27 an hour. So yeah, it's kind of it's one of them you're drawn into when you first join Uber, because you see big jobs come up like 40-50 quid and you think, oh, that's a lot better than the £3-4 jobs that are being offered. But it's not. Uber's going to be taking loads of commission on that, and it's just you're just going to be clocking the miles up on your car to do it. So yeah, avoid it. I then got offered this one. I was in Southport. They wanted me to drive 8.5 miles to Formby to do a 1.2 mile job in Formby. So basically just shy of 10 miles. It was an XL job, and they were offering me £5.62p. So it was like 50p a mile. You know, so this is part of the, I know just recently a load of people have all been started getting ridiculous job offers sent to them, but they're all on X, whereas these are the type of jobs that XL drivers get sent, purely because there isn't enough XL drivers. So yeah, other than that, it's not too bad. Like I said, I'm just charged up. I was looking around in the app then to try and see how many hours of drive I've got left, but I can't find it. I've been on the app for about 10 minutes, checking all the settings and everything. I suppose I could Google it, but I can't be bothered. I have accepted one one reservation for this evening. It's at 11:30. So kind of like, I don't do reservations because they're a pain, but I accepted this one for 2 reasons. One, it's only going it's going 10 miles, which is Southport back to Tarleton, which isn't too far from mine. That's a 20-minute ride, and it's paying 30 quid, so £3 a mile. So basically I'm going to pick these up at 11:30 and then drop them off for 10 to 12. So then I can then either decide if it's quiet, or if my battery's running low, or if I've had enough, I can then just drive home. I'm only going to be like, you know, 5 or 10 minutes away from my house. Or I can just spin it round, come straight back to Southport, and then I'm probably going to do another 1 or 2 jobs within the hour. So that hour should give me at least 50 quid. It is a multi-stop, but I've had a look on the map, and they're basically like 2 streets away from each other. So yeah, I accepted that because it's later on, and like I said, it gives me that flexibility of whether I want to stay out or not. And it's decent, like I said, 30 quid, or £3 a mile. And yeah, if you don't know the area, you're not zigzagging through like the town centre, through traffic lights and everything. You basically leave Southport, you're straight on a bypass. They have the average speed cameras, but you can just set your cruise control to 50 miles an hour, and then it's that road, that one straight road all the way to Tarleton, and that's it. Drop them off, turn back round, set your cruise control, back in Southport again. So nice and easy. It's not like if you're in Liverpool city centre, that would be a nightmare of a job, doing 10 miles through Liverpool, Jesus, and it'd take you forever. It'd literally take you about an hour probably if you were driving 10 miles all the way through a city centre, whereas it takes 20 minutes in Southport, because they're just all like straight country roads when you get to the outskirts. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much about it. I haven't really come across any major dramas up to now. It was absolutely throwing it down before, which I think was helping a bit, but again, a lot of the jobs were just like really small, not the best paying jobs. But yeah, that's about it. I'm still on charge now. just coming up to 95%, so I'm probably going to be here another, what, 10 minutes, so that'll take me to 9 o'clock. So yeah, I stopped basically an hour and a half ago, stopped, made a few phone calls, put it on charge, went and had something to eat. I don't know if I don't know if it's taking a little bit longer to charge because it's cold, or I'm not too sure, because we're down to 2 degrees, so I think that might be affecting it a little bit. And then, like I said, it was charging at like 60-70 kilowatts up until about 90%, and then it drops right down to, I think I'm on like 16 kilowatts now. So it does that for like the last 10% of the battery, which is really slow. But I'd like to get it back to 100% so I can you know, basically go out now, and I should be good until finish, whether that's 1-2 o'clock. But yeah, I'll see what happens. And yeah, I'm getting a bit too comfy in the back. I've actually just been sizing up, having a little look on Amazon, a little a TV that I can stick up. I've seen all like the fold down TVs that you can get in the roof lining, but basically I reckon I might mess that up because basically I'd have to take out all the roof lining, and it's like one piece from the front to the back of the vehicle, big massive XL thing. It's got this big massive panel in the middle for all the aircon and everything. I thought, oh, it's going to be a nightmare taking all that out, something's going to break. So I thought you can get these brackets that basically go off the headrests, the metal poles. So basically between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, it'll fit there perfectly. I reckon I'll get like I don't know, I'd have to measure it. It might be either a 24 or a 32 inch plasma. You can get these ones where it's got like Alexa built into it. So basically I can just sit in the back and say, like, you know, Alexa play YouTube, Alexa play this, whatever. And then I don't need a remote. And then if any customers want to use it, I don't know if I'll be using it so much on like Uber work, but like my own private work, you know, then the customer can just say, you know, just shout out. You don't need to leave a remote in the back, because that'll go missing after 5 minutes. But yeah, it's great as well for me, because I'll pull up now and I'm watching something on my phone for half an hour or an hour, you know, like a bit of Netflix or whatever, while I'm having a rest. But yeah, that's something that I can basically just fit myself. I've got 3 pin plugs in this, so yeah, I can plug a TV and everything. Yeah, and it looks smart, so that's what I'm looking into. Yeah, probably grab one of them in the Boxing Day sales. And that's about it. So yeah, enough waffling. I know it's gone on for a bit, but yeah, I haven't done an update since I started it too. So yeah, I'll catch you in a bit with the next update. So it's just turned 12:30. It's been another 3.5 hours since the last update. It's just been mad busy, all back-to-back jobs. Yeah, just haven't had a chance. I don't like pulling over just to do updates. Yeah, it just wastes too much time. I've only stopped now because basically I've just drove to pick someone up. Then they cancelled as I was sat outside, so I thought, well, I'll quickly come offline and do a little bit of an update. So yeah, I came back online after charging, and then straight into a little £5.64 for 2.2 miles, £3.81 for 0.6 of a mile, £4.30 for 1.2 miles, £4 for 0.7 of a mile. A little small XL job, £5.95 for 0.6 of a mile. Another XL job, £6.55 for 1.2 miles. £3.71 for 1.1 miles. £5.90 for 3.3 miles. £6.20 for 1.5 miles. I then had this XL job. Well, I left them negative feedback, so it was £16.18 for 5.3 miles. So the rate was quite good. They all got in, they're all rat-arsed, all messing about in the back. I think there was one girl with them, I think. She was like, oh, it's freezing. I think it's freezing because the mates have had the doors open because they're running in and out the pub because they forget, you know, they've come out, one's forgot his coat, he's going in and out. And then I heard the girl saying to one of the lads, don't put your feet there, people have to sit there. And I'm thinking, has he got his feet on the seat? But I don't know if he had his feet on the seat or she didn't want him to put. I don't know, because other people were getting in. I don't know if she was telling them to move over, so I wasn't too sure. And then like we're driving down, because it was only, what was it, like 10 minutes away from where they were. They were just going into Southport. And then I got like a waft of like an e-cig. So I said, look, whoever's doing that, stop it, otherwise you're going to get out here. And they were like, oh yeah, sorry about that, but I won't do it again. So we carry on driving down, and then like one of them is saying to the others something like, oh, I'm going to do a bomb here in a minute. I think he was talking about like he was going to fart or something. And then the others were saying, oh, don't, because we're getting out in a minute. And then she was like, don't, you know, I've booked this Uber, basically saying, you're going to affect my rating, basically, if you start messing about in here. So then I think he holds in for like another 20 seconds or so, and then just fucking like lets rip, and it absolutely like reeks. Now what I've done in the past is I've left the window shut, because there's only windows in the front, and I've thought, well, I'll let you smell it. But then I thought, so what's going to annoy them more? So it was like, it's been like 3 degrees here, it's been absolutely Baltic, and they were all cold. So I think it was him who done it. He went, somebody opened the window. He thought it was dead funny. So I thought, I'll show you what's funny. Put my heated seat on, opened both the windows in the front, and then we had to carry on driving for I don't know, another 4, maybe 5 minutes, and I had both windows open, and you can imagine it was like a wind tunnel in the back, absolutely blowing a gale. The wind's blowing like the minibus all over the place. There's like rain coming in and everything. And I was just driving down, and I thought, I don't even care, I've got my heated seat on, I'm nice and warm, I've got about 5 layers on, and they're sat in the back. One's got a dress on, the other one's have got like a short sleeve shirt on, but they didn't say a thing, because they knew I was on the verge of losing it, and they would have just been thrown out there and then. So yeah, that was my way of getting back at them. They basically dropped them off. They were all freezing cold, covered in rain and everything, and I just pulled up and opened the doors. She got out, didn't say anything, because she just knew. She knew what was coming. She knew the 1 star was coming. Plus I went on and then reported all the other little icons because all the mates are. In a sense, I feel a little bit bad for her, because it was mainly her mates. It was the lads. But at the end of the day, if you've booked it, you're responsible for them, as far as I'm concerned. I've picked people up in the past, and they get in, they're a little bit leery, and they're all messing about and that, and then you know who's the guy who's booked it, because then he was turning around saying, shut up, will you, we're getting out now, or like someone was swearing or something, and he said like, shut up, pack it in, this is on my account. So there is a lot of people that look at it like that, and they basically put their own mates in check, whereas she was just sitting there not like a care in the world. So I thought, well, that's all I can do. I can either pull over and kick them out, or I can make them sit there for 4 or 5 minutes in a wind tunnel doing 40-50 mile an hour all the way to Southport, and it was freezing cold. So yeah, that was it. So like I said, it's easy to go and drop them off and still get you £16.18. It's basically it was over £3 a mile, and then give them crap feedback. But I think instead of just giving them a 1 star, you then have to report them through like the app as well. You have to go to help, report a rider, select the journey, and then go through all the different options, like a negative feedback you want to leave about a rider, and then go into like more detail, and then basically you unpair from them, so they can't obviously get you. If you gave them a 1 star and then 2 hours later I go back to Lord Street and pick them back up again, it's going to be a bit awkward, isn't it? So yeah, it's important to try and block them, and then hopefully you don't pick them up again. So then I went into a little £3.72 for 1 mile, £7.26 for 3.5 miles, £5.84 for 2.6 miles. A notification around then popped up, I think, to say you've got like 1 hour and 50 minutes of drive left or something. And then it was £6.93 for 3 miles, another XL, £8.87 for 1.4 miles, customer cancelled, £7.96 for 2.5 miles, £5.30 for 1.6 miles, a £10.57 for 4.9 miles, and then that last one, which was, I'd gone down, pulled up outside Weatherspoons, sat there for a minute, no one had come out, which I thought was a bit odd because I thought that they're going to want to get the show on the road here to get to the next bar or whatever. I clicked on it, I didn't realise it was a multi-stop. I think there was 3 drops. I think it was like a £9 job or something. I thought, oh, I can't be bothered with this, and I was on the verge of just cancelling it, because I couldn't be bothered waiting for them, and I couldn't be bothered doing like 3 stops as well. And then luckily it popped up saying that the rider's cancelled, so I thought, oh well, I got £3.50 for absolutely nothing. So yeah, at the moment, I think it popped up before. I think it said I've got like 50 minutes of drive time left. It's coming up to like 1:45 now. I'm on 270 and like 12 pence or something. So yeah, I've averaged basically, I've done 9 hours, so I've averaged £30 an hour. So yeah, not too bad. What am I on? Done 40 trips. Don't really know what else to add to that really. Have I taken any screenshots of anything? No, don't think there's been anything too bad. Before, when I picked that last customer up, I did actually go on to no further job request because they were just pinging and they were pinging and they were pinging, and it was non-stop. I couldn't even see where I was going on the map. It was ridiculous. I know I have the Google Maps up as well on the main screen, but it was just constant, and they weren't even like, I don't mind if it's like a follow-on job, if it's some, you know, you're picking someone up nearby to where you're dropping off, but these were like 4 or 5 miles away, and it was just constant. So yeah, so I turned that off, and then I only came back online again after I dropped the last lady off. So yeah, I'm gonna go back online now. Like I said, I've got just shy of half a tank left. How many miles have I done today? I'm up to 150 miles. I think yesterday I done 190. Only clocked that before when I reset the thing. So yeah, I'll go back on, and I reckon I've got an hour left max. Because I know I've got roughly an hour of like drive time, but I've got around 50 miles of electric left. So it's kind of, I think the miles are going to run out before the hour does, the hour drive time. So yeah, I'll see how it goes, and I'll give you another update in a bit, or it'll be the final update when I get home. So I'll catch you in a bit. So final update, it is just after 2 AM and I've just got home. So yeah, it pretty much come up saying I think I had 10 or 11 minutes of drive time left. Some of the job offers that started coming up were a little bit daft. So yeah, I just thought I'll head back. You know, at most, what was I going to get? 1, possibly 2 jobs more. So yeah, I just couldn't be bothered. So yeah, after that last update, I had a surge job, an XL, £14.12 for 4 miles. Another XL, £6.77 for 1.2 miles. And then, oh no, that was the last one. Yeah, so an XL, oh, and then an XL. As I was dropping that other XL off, an XL job popped up. It said Southport to Southport, and it was like £22.50. I think it's gone up slightly. It says increase £22.65, and it said like 5 miles. I thought, well, that can't be right. Something's not right there. So I accepted it anyway. So I dropped this other group off on Lord Street, drove a little bit further down Lord Street, and then picked 5 up. But just before I got them in, I was trying to figure out why it was so much for such little distance, and I clicked on it and it was 5 stops. So I picked them up. It was a group of 5, dead nice, you know, they weren't all like drunk or anything, and basically they all lived in Southport, but they all lived about a mile from each other, if that, a mile and a half max. So so yeah, in total it took 17 minutes, and it was £22.65 for 5.99 miles. So it was yeah, it was like a good little fare, you know, for that kind of a price. You know, I think like to Ormskirk, I was getting offered like 12 quid or something. So to get offered almost £23 for that was good. And I even said to that the last one who got out was a girl. I said, like, you're the most well organised group that I've picked up. I think that's the most multi-stops that I've done before, but it was just seamless. It was all in order. You know, they weren't having to say, oh, how do we use the app? I don't know how to add a stop, or you're going the wrong way. It just went fine. So what was it? So yeah, I finished on £322.39. So I've been out, started at 2, finished at 2, so I've been out for 12 hours. I've been online for 10.5 hours, and it's saying I've done basically 10 hours drive, just shy. I think I had like 10 minutes left. So yeah, it's quite efficient, because then it's basically saying that for only half an hour of that 10.5 hours I was online, I was driving to customers. So apparently I've had customers in for almost 10 hours of the shift. A bit of an hourly breakdown, that works out just shy of £31 an hour. I've averaged for the whole 10.5 hours, which is good, to be honest. Again, that's like some of the best rates that I've seen, or the most like consistent. But then that is purely down to it being so busy, with it being the Christmas period. Did I get any sort of little daft things? Yeah, see, like one of the jobs, I left it online just as I started heading back, and I was off an XL job. They wanted me to drive nearly 11.5 miles to Ormskirk to do a 1 mile job. So it was like 12.5 miles, and they were offering me £6.86. So again, like 50p a mile. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, when you see little telltale signs like that, it's time to knock it on the head and basically go home. Another little thing to mention was the reservation job that I had booked for 11:30. I think it was like £30 for like 10 miles or something like that. They cancelled that at the last minute, and this is part and parcel of why I don't do them, because you might kind of plan your night around it, or you might have like some private bookings, or you might be at home and think, oh, I'll come back online to go out to do that job. Yeah, and they can just cancel it willy-nilly whenever they want, and you don't get anything for it. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot and you cancel that, and you haven't given like at least an hour's notice or something, it goes against you as like a cancellation and affects your rating. But yeah, it's one of them things, like like I said, they cancel it, and you don't get any sort of cancellation fee or anything. It just pops up saying they've cancelled the booking. So yeah, that was about that. Nothing really else to mention. I might be out again tomorrow, not sure. I just thought with it being Sunday, more people are going to be coming out, but a lot of people have finished work and that now, so I'm probably going to be free tomorrow. I'm jam-packed all Monday, so I'm not going to be working Monday, and I really can't see me doing any of Christmas Eve, because I think I'm busy, and then obviously Christmas Day, Boxing Day, so I think that might be it now until Friday. Potentially come out next Friday, Saturday. So yeah, if I'm not out tomorrow, it's going to be basically a week when I'm back out. But again, that's one of the benefits of doing like Uber shifts. You can just pick and choose whenever you want. So yeah, thanks for watching. Any questions you can think of, feel free to put them in the comments, and yeah, I'll try and respond. So yeah, thanks for watching.